Legend of Yufei, Chapter 64.
And it starts, tragically, with the immediate consequences of the state's cruelty.
We start with the emotional fallout, and it's immediate and just devastating, right?
Absolutely devastating. The source opens with this really shocking act from Yufei's daughter, Miss Yinping.
Yeah, what did she do? I mean, the text is quite stark about it.
It is. Upon learning of her father's murder and the complete destruction of the family standing, she commits suicide. She jumps into a well.
Wow. Just an act of utter despair.
Well, yes, but the text immediately frames it as more than that. She's praised for her Zhaoli.
Zhaoli. What does that mean exactly?
It's filial devotion combined with heroism. So it's not just seen as grief. It's seen as a virtuous, almost heroic act of loyalty.
So it immediately establishes the family as martyrs.
Precisely. Her sacrifice forces the public, anyone hearing this story, to compare her profound virtue against the sheer malice of the regime.
And her death, along with her father and the others executed, it leaves Madame Yu, Yufei's wife, with this immense practical problem.
Yes, the logistical challenge. 5 coffins. They need a proper burial in the middle of all this political turmoil.
And this is where we see the first flicker of defiance, isn't it, from ordinary people?
Exactly. The loyalty of the common people shines through almost immediately. A local wealthy man, the Guanren, he steps forward.
What did he do?
He donated land.
At Kixieling, specifically for the burial, ensuring the dead received, the proper respect they deserved.
Now, the detail about payment here is fascinating.
It really is. He refused any payment, flat out refused. Said he honored the Yu family as loyal officials and filial sons. That exact phrase is used.
But he did take something, didn't he?
Just a token amount, 20 gold pieces, more out of, respecting protocol than actual payment.
So that refusal, it's a statement in itself.
A powerful one. It establishes this kind of moral economy, separate from the state's corrupt political one. He's basically saying the Yu family's moral value is higher than King Hui's gold.
A small act, but a huge moral victory. Definitely. But, okay, the burial is done. Then the political threat just ramps right back up immediately.
Madame Yu and the rest of the family, they're swiftly exiled, sent off to Yunnan.
Which is way out there. Far from the capital, far from any power base. And under heavy official escort, 4 officials, 24 guards.
But they weren't entirely abandoned on the road, were they? There was some help.
A crucial bit of help, yeah. Marshal Han Chizhong's wife, Madame Liang, remember her? She arranges for 4 strong house guards to secretly escort them too.
Practical loyalty providing some real security. A small shield, at least.
Exactly. But Qin Hui, his persecution doesn't stop with just sending them away. His malice, it actually targets the dead themselves.
He seems to sense the power of that gravesite, doesn't he, as a potential rallying point?
Oh, absolutely. His paranoia leads him to this really extreme strategic move.
Yeah.
He basically criminalizes grief. He orders 300 soldiers to patrol the gravesite at Kexioling. And here's the truly cruel part. Anyone caught swooping the graves, just coming to mourn, is to be arrested immediately.
Arrested as what?
As a rebel accomplice, part of the traitors' faction.
That's chilling. So the very act of mourning, of showing respect, becomes treason.
It turns the grave into a state flashpoint. Every loyal citizen becomes a potential criminal just for wanting to pay respects.
And at the same time, he's confiscating assets back in their hometown, Tangyin.
Yep, confiscating property and plastering wanted posters everywhere for Yulei. Arrest warrants out for him specifically.
This intense focus on the dead, though, it forces an immediate reaction from the living, and that starts with Yulei, right? His vow.
Yes. Yulei gets the news. Everything. His father's murder, his mother's exile, his sister's suicide.
The weight of it all must have been unbearable.
The text says he faints, just collapses from the grief. But when he comes to his filial piety, that core value dictates his next move.
Which is?
He absolutely insists on going to Linen first. To the capital.
Search into the danger zone. Why?
To mourn at the grave. To sweep the grave despite the guards, despite the arrest warrant, before he even thinks about heading south to find his mother in Yunnan.
Wow. That decision. It's pure sacrificial loyalty. Defying 300 soldiers just to sweep a grave.
It's the ultimate act of filial piety in this context. And he isn't planning to do it alone.
Right. He has his companions. The loyal, maybe slightly reckless group.
Definitely reckless in some cases.
Yeah.
You've got Niu Tong, Zhong Lang, And the Han brothers, Han Kalong and Han Kitheng, they embody that raw fury against the injustice.
And Yutong, he's always the explosive one, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He hears about the danger of the guards at the grave and just laughs. What are we afraid of, he says. But then
takes it way further.
Way further. Jumps straight to, like, full-blown revolution. He basically says, let's kill our way into Linen, grab the emperor, kill all the traitors, and make Yu Lai the new emperor.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a leap from sweeping a grave.
It's incredibly audacious. And this is where the story sets a really important boundary, I think.
How does Yu Lai react? Does he even consider it?
Not for a second. He immediately scolds Newton, shuts the idea down hard, tells him this isn't a game, and that kind of talk is incredibly dangerous, treasonous even.
So that's crucial. The mission is defined right there. Loyalty, mourning, justice, not rebellion, not usurping the throne.
Exactly. They have to hold that moral high ground. Filial piety, loyalty to the dynasty, even if the emperor is misguided and the ministers are corrupt, that's their strength.
But, okay, moral courage is one thing. A vow is powerful. But facing down state power, 300 soldiers, arrest warrants, they need more than just guts. They need, well, a plan, strategy.
And that's precisely where the narrative shifts. It moves from earthly perseverance, human loyalty, to something else, spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
The secret weapon, if you will.
And this starts subtly with Zhu Jing.
Yes, Zhu Jing, who apparently died of grief over Yufei's fate. His son, Zhu Jijin, is the key here. He receives the first sort of spiritual nudge.
Through a dream.
Exactly. He dreams. His dead father tells him to hurry up and go help Yu Lai get to the grave. It's like an initial instruction.
But then comes the big one.
Oh, yeah. The really significant intervention happens later. Zhu Jijin is resting in this cold, run-down temple, and he has another dream.
And this time it's not his father.
No. This time, it's the big gun. It's his ancestor, the ultimate strategist, Kong Ming, Zhu Jiliang himself.
Appearing how?
In full scholarly gear. The Yu Guanjin cap, the Yu crane feather cloak holding the Yu Shan feather fan. The iconic image.
Wow. So historical wisdom, like literally stepping into the current crisis.
Directly intervening. Kong Ming explicitly tells Zhu Jijin he's there to give him the tools Yu Lai needs. Tools to achieve the family's legacy, that loyalty, filial piety, integrity, righteousness.
And the tools are?
3 volumes of strategy. Bing Shu Sun Wan. Military texts.
But these aren't just any texts.
They're special. Divine, almost.
You could say that. They seem divinely given for the specific purpose, and they're incredibly specific in content. This isn't just generic advice. Okay, break it down. What's in these volumes?
All right, the upper volume. It's about Zan Feng Wang Qi divining winds and observing the atmosphere. Basically, advanced intelligence gathering, reading signs, maybe predicting enemy movements or weather, crucial for evasion.
Makes sense. Middle volume.
Xingbing Buzhen. Marching and arraying troops. The practical stuff, tactics for moving unseen, setting up defensive positions, maybe even infiltration techniques.
Okay, intel and tactics. What about the lower volume?
That ties it all together spiritually. Bu, Suan Qi Dao. Divination and prayer. Using calculations, perhaps astrological or I Ching based, and invoking spiritual aid.
So it's a complete package: intelligence, practical maneuvers, and spiritual legitimacy.
Exactly. It signals that their cause isn't just righteous, it's spiritually sanctioned. And it requires genius, strategy, not just brute force.
But there's a catch, isn't there? A really important one.
A huge one. Kong Ming gives a strict warning: burn the books immediately after success.
Burn them.
He says explicitly, they must not be passed down to the human world. This knowledge is sacred, transformative, given for this specific mission only. It's not for general use.
That raises the stakes incredibly high. This is temporary, divinely sanctioned genius, not a new school of thought.
Precisely. It ensures they rely on this specific guided intelligence, but it also prevents this potentially reality-bending knowledge from sticking around afterwards. It must remain pure in its purpose.
So Zhu Jin wakes up, finds the books, right? Wrapped in yellow silk. What does he do?
He acts immediately. He adopts a disguise, a Taoist priest.
Smart. Gives him mobility or reason to be traveling and a certain moral authority.
Exactly. He sets up shop in Jiandu, pretending to be a fortune teller and face reader.
Does he have, like, a sign or something?
He does. A very clever one. It says, Nanyang Zugijin reads faces of fish and dragons. Profit is not counted.
Fish and dragons, meaning he can spot the extraordinary among the ordinary.
That's the implication. And profit is not counted. Signals he's not just some grifter. He has a higher purpose. And apparently he's good. He quickly gets a reputation for accuracy.
Which provides the perfect cover, and it's through this cover that the two groups finally connect.
Yes. Yulei's group eventually makes their way to Jeondu and finds him. And, well, guess who causes a scene immediately?
Has to be Newtong.
Of course. He sees the crowd around Zugi Jin and just starts yelling, shoving people out of the way. Get out of here, you bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Something like that. Very aggressive.
Charming. Clears the way, though.
It does. The crowd scatters. Yuli steps forward, maybe intending to get a reading, and Zugi Jin recognizes him instantly.
Through his Taoist insight, his face-reading skills.
Well, here's the fascinating, deeply ironic twist the source gives us.
Go on.
Zugi Jin recognizes Yulei because he's seen the wanted posters.
No way.
Yes. The government's own tool, the description put out for Yulei's arrest, is the very thing that leads the loyalists to their divinely appointed military advisor.
That's brilliant. The tyrant's weapon turned right back against him.
A perfect piece of dramatic irony. So, Zugi Jin quickly reveals his true identity, explains about his father's dream, about Kong Ming, the books, the whole mission.
How does the group react, especially Yulei?
They accept him immediately. They recognize the significance. He becomes their Junshi, their military advisor.
And just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Newtong, predictably, makes one last pitch for the Kill the Emperor plan.
And?
Shot down instantly. Again, it really cements their purpose. Mourning, loyalty, and now strategic action guided by Zhu Jin, not rebellion.
So the group is finally complete. 6 people now, right? Yulei, Newtong, Zhang Liang, the two Han brothers, and Zugi Jin.
6 strong, guided by ancestral wisdom. And they're on the move again, heading towards the danger zone.
Linen.
Where do they stop next? Their last stop before crossing the river towards the capital is Guazhou. They rest there, at the Golden Dragon King Temple, gathering themselves for the most dangerous part of the journey, getting to that guarded grave.
Yulei, he needs to get across a river, Jiangbian, basically the riverbank.
He's desperate for passage. He sees a boat, calls out to the boatman, the Chuanjia, and asks about hiring it.
Sounds straightforward enough, but this is where the trap starts.
Oh yeah, it's subtle at first. The boatman doesn't just say no, he pretends to be helpful.
Right, he says something like, okay, wait here. I need to get my partner, his Huoji, to discuss the price.
But he doesn't bring back a partner. He comes back with 2 other guys.
And they're clearly officials. Gongchai, public servants.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really insidious. They don't just grab him. They use this psychological ploy.
They mask the arrest warrant with this story.
Yeah, it's quite something. They claim they're also traveling, heading to the capital, Linen.
And their reason. It's very specific.
Very. They say they're going to visit a grave, Shangfen, to pay respects to the dead, which culturally is, a very dutiful thing to do.
But for Yulei, hearing this, given his father, Marshal Yu, was executed.
It hits a raw nerve, that specific phrase, visiting a tomb.
He just loses it. His caution evaporates. He asks whose tomb they're visiting.
And when they say they're going to honor his father, Yu Fei, well, that's it.
He breaks down, starts crying, and blurts out, I am Yulei.
Boom. The trap springs. They immediately drop the act.
No more talk of mourning.
Nope. They reveal they have orders, Junzi, specific orders from Grand Counselor Qin himself, Qin Taishi.
To arrest him. Connection to rebellion, that's the charge, right?
That's the official line. They chain him up and take him straight to the local magistrate, the Zizu.
A guy named Wang Bingwen. And the confrontation there is immediate.
Oh, absolutely. The magistrate doesn't waste any time. He points at Yulei and calls him the son of a rebel minister. Pan Chen Zizi demands he kneel.
This framing is key, isn't it? Loyalty versus treason, right from the start.
It's the core conflict. But Yulei pushes back. He shouts, I am the son of a loyal minister, Zhang Chen Zizi.
He defends himself, but it doesn't matter.
Not at all. The magistrate's mind is made up. Or maybe his orders were clear. Yulei is thrown into prison. Jin.
And the plan is to send him to the capital the next day. For execution, presumably.
That seems to be the implication, yes. Things look incredibly bleak for him.
So, while Yulei is locked up, facing despair, what about his friends? His allies?
Right, they're waiting back at the Great King's Temple. Dawing Miao. We're talking Han Kelong, Newtong, Zhu Jinin.
Then they must be getting frantic.
Completely. Han Kelong and his brother actually go out searching for Yulei. They don't find him, obviously.
But they hear something important.
Yes, they overhear the city gossip. And this is crucial for context.
What are people saying?
People on the street are actually mourning Marshal Yu Fei. Yu Yuanshui. They feel sorry for him.
So public opinion isn't necessarily aligned with the state's view.
Not entirely, no. And they're speculating openly that Qin Taishi, the Grand Counselor, must have some kind of deep, ancient grudge. Chao Yuan, they call it. A personal vendetta against the Yu family.
Which confirms the allies' fears. This isn't justice, it's political.
Exactly. It's looking like a targeted assassination, just using the legal system as cover.
Okay, so they know the danger. But back at the temple, how are they handling this? Is it chaos?
Well, it nearly is. There's internal conflict. Nutong, he's panicked, maybe frustrated, and he lashes out.
At Zhuge
Yeah, he blames Zhuge Jin, calls him a cow-nosed nudity, basically an insult for a Taoist practitioner.
Yeah.
He wants action now.
So the pressure is immense. Do they just charge in, try a risky rescue?
You'd think maybe they would, but no. This is where it takes a turn.
Towards the supernatural.
Sort of. Zhuge Jin actually calms everyone down. He says, essentially, hold on, let's not rush. We need to figure out his fate first.
And he proposes divination.
Precisely. He says, let's divine it. But Taiyibu, he takes out 3 gold coins. Sen Hijin Kian.
So instead of charging in blind, they turn to calculation or perhaps fate.
It's a calculated pause, definitely. And the result of the divination, the Guojiang, is incredibly specific.
What does he predict?
He doesn't just say, oh, he'll be okay. He's very confident. He says there's already a saving star, a Ju Sheng inside the prison with Yu Lei, someone who will help.
Wow, okay. Anything else?
Yes, and this is the really crucial part. He gives them an exact time and place to expect Yu Lei.
How exact?
The second hour of the pig, Shi Hai O Shi, which is, late evening, around 9 to 11 p.m. And the location, outside the city walls, Chucheng.
So this divination forces them to wait, to trust this very specific outcome.
Completely. It stops them from doing something reckless and hinges everything on this precise timing and the intervention of the saving star. It shifts the whole dynamic.
Okay, so the allies are waiting, trusting the prophecy. Let's cut back to Yu Lei in that prison cell. What's his state?
Utter despair. The sources say he's weeping, cursing Qin Hui.
Qin Hui, the Grand Counselor himself.
Yes, he's recounting his father's loyalty, how he defended Nutu Mountain, defeated the Jin army at Zuxian Town.
All the great victories.
Only to be murdered at Fengboning. The injustice is overwhelming him.
And this outburst, this crying, it attracts attention.
It does. It's the cue for the saving star Zhuge Jin predicted. We meet the prisoner in the next cell.
And this is Ouyang Kongshan.
That's him. Nicknamed the 5 Directions Destroyer. Wu Fang Tai Sui. A very colorful character.
It sounds intimidating. What do the sources tell us about him?
He's described as a powerful salt smuggler, Mai Xiyan, and a private merchant. Basically operates outside the law.
But with influence.
Huge influence. He's incredibly strong. Li Da Wukong, limitless strength, and very direct. But crucially, the jailers are terrified of him.
Why? Because of his strength.
Partly, but mostly because he bribes them heavily. They treat him like a Lao Ye, like a master, because he pays them off. They fear him, yes, but they also respect his money.
So he's a criminal, but he essentially runs the prison from his cell because of his wealth.
Pretty much. It's a fascinating commentary, isn't it? This smuggler has more sway over the guards than the magistrate does, all thanks to his illegal money.
And he hears Yu Lei crying.
Yes. And he comes up with this ingenious plan. He starts yelling, complaining that Yu Lei's crying is ruining his birthday.
Wait,
Xingri.
is it actually his birthday?
Probably not. It's a brilliant excuse. It gives him a plausible reason to throw a party, right?
Ah, I see. So he uses this fake birthday.
As cover to bribe the guards even more. He pulls out a hefty sum of silver, about 20 taels Ershi Lai Liang.
That's a lot of money.
A huge amount. He gives it to the jailers, the Lao Tu Chen Zi, and tells them to go buy a massive feast. Chicken, juice, fish, meat, wine, fruit. The works.
And the guards?
They're delighted. They go get everything. And Ouyang Kongshan insists they all join him. Eat, drink, gamble, celebrate his birthday.
So he gets the guards involved in their own neutralization.
Exactly. It's genius. They feast, they drink heavily, way past midnight, until every single jailer is completely drunk, passed out cold.
The entire security apparatus just incapacitated by wine and bribery.
Neutralized, without a single blow being struck by young Kongshan. It's corruption, not violence, that clears the path.
Okay, the guards are out. What happens next?
So young Kongshan, the 5 Directions Destroyer, gets to work.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently breaks the lock easily.
Baloo. Frees Yu Lei from his shackles.
Yep, takes off the liaoku. Then he leads Yu Lei quietly through the now unguarded prison.
Where are they going?
Straight to the city wall. Chengtu. Ouyang finds a rope, a Suozi,
And he lowers Yulei down.
secures it around Yulei and lowers him over the side of the wall.
And down below.
Waiting at the foot of the wall, Qing Jiaoxia, are Sujijin and the others.
Exactly as the divination predicted.
Exactly. At the second hour of the pig, they see Yulei coming down the rope, and they know the prophecy, the first part of it anyway, has come true.
What about Yu Yang Kangshan?
He checks that the wall guards are still asleep or drunk, shouts down a warning, and then just jumps, lands safely beside them.
Incredible. So they're out. They're free. But they can't just hang around, right? Pursuit must be coming.
Absolutely immediate danger. They need to get away fast. They need transport.
So they head back towards the river.
Yes. And here's a twist that feels almost too convenient, narratively speaking.
What is it?
They find a boat moored there. And it's the exact same boat, Really Nazichuan, the one the boatman used to betray Yulei earlier that day.
No way. The same boat.
The very same. And this is where the tone shifts dramatically from clever planning and, well, bribing.
To something much harsher.
Much harsher. Han Kelong takes charge here. He jumps onto the boat.
Does he try to bribe the boatman? Or threaten him?
No time for that. He wakes the boatman, the Xiaogong, pretending to be a magistrate's official, a Tai, shouting at him.
The boatman must recognize Yulei.
He scrambles out, probably terrified, realizing who these people are. The son of the man he helped capture.
And Han Gilong.
Doesn't hesitate. He pulls out his waist knife, his Yao Dao.
And kills him.
Instantly. Kills the boatman and throws his body straight into the river.
Wow. Just like that. No questions asked.
Zero hesitation. It's brutal, but from their perspective, absolutely necessary.
Why necessary?
To guarantee their escape. The boatman's the only non-official witness to the original betrayal and to their current escape route. Silencing him removes a huge risk.
So they needed to eliminate the witness.
It seems that was the calculation. They get in the boat, row away quickly, and that's their escape secured.
And the source material has that closing image, right? About the turtle escaping.
Yes, a very vivid one. The great turtle escapes the golden hook, shaking its head and tail, never to return. Ayitul Lijin Gudiao by Wei Yao to Zaibulai. Freedom, but at a cost.